Hello? And welcome to the Paper Soprano Podcast. My name is Heidi, and I am your host, apparently. And today, we also have another human who is ready to have a nice little chat with us this morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever you are listening. And her name is Kate Ashbrook. And say hi, Kate.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. It's really fun to have guests, so I don't have to just talk to myself for however many minutes.
Was like, I want to be on.
Well, we're happy to have you. So, tell everybody, who the heck are you?
Well, I'm Kate, and I actually grew up with Heidi in Hamburg, in the 716, you know.
Yes, Buffalo.
And we went to elementary schools, and basically just until I moved down to North Carolina, we went to school together, and now I am down in North Carolina and have been for 9 years now, and I'm just living my life, you know?
Yes, honestly, I forgot that you have been there for so long. When you said 9 years, I literally was like, huh? Like, I shook my head a little bit. I was like, wait, 9?
I feel so old, Heidi, though. Like, like we were like 15 yesterday. What happened?
Yeah, it is very strange to think about how, how long ago and yet how not long ago it feels that we were in like high school and stuff. And when you said you wanted to be on the podcast, I was like, oh, yes, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, honestly, so many of the memories that we have together are just like random, like really, really nerdy, gross, disgusting, like musical theater related memories. You know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean. And what was funny was I was listening to the one episode. I don't know if it was yesterday's episode or the day before, where you were getting really in depth about like the true meanings behind Mozart's operas and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna come on and talk about how we used to sing Glee.
Oh my god, dude. But you know what? That, honestly, if I didn't sing Glee in high school, I wouldn't be talking about Mozart today. You know what I mean? Like, and not to say that one is better than the other, but they are definitely related in my life. And, related in the sense that one led me to another, which led me to another, which led me to another. And now here I am, pursuing music. So, yeah, those were some weird times. Wait, what was that?
Back to Glee.
Oh, yes, it all leads back to Glee. If you don't know what Glee is, like, I have a couple friends who might not know what Glee is, and it's this really, really unique show that aired in, like, the mid to late 2010s or something. I don't know when it came on, but it's this show, right? And it's basically this, like, sitcom of, like, musical nerds and, like, Glee Club, if you can imagine that. And if you know what Glee is, you know that I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. But it's a very, very interesting show. And they did a lot of, like, a cappella medleys and, like, very highly produced covers, and really had like their own genre of music. Like they would cover things, and sometimes those would be like more listened to than the originals, like when it was really popular.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
and I feel like they really went off in making choral arrangements for people to do in their schools.
yeah, honestly, it was such a fad, and it was really hilarious because the people who liked it, like us, were like I think the other day, I'm pretty sure that I saw, you know how Facebook like reminds you of the embarrassing things you've done like 10 years ago?
Yes, I cringed.
Yes, I think like a couple days ago or something, I posted a status like 10 years ago saying, Kate's coming over to watch Glee, can't wait, oh my gosh, hope my mom makes spinach artichoke dip, like you know? But okay, so give
Good
us a
times,
little
man.
give us your interpretation of our singing together. Like what would you explain to someone when they asked you like what did you guys even sing together?
So yeah, I remember a lot of Heidi and I started probably with Wicked. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Heidi was Glinda, and I was um, stand in the Hamburg High School auditorium when we weren't supposed to, probably, and sing. Uh, and we would do, remember, was it I Dreamed a Dream?
Oh my
The
god.
Glee version,
Yes.
and just a lot of different things. But I just remember it was fun. Like, it all just was rooted in just enjoying it, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, for me it was really like strangely like hyper emotional like every time because Glee the show was so hyper emotional and I felt like we were so attached to the show and like we were friends and it was also like a really pathetic attempt at like high school rebellion from me at least like when I would straight up like I thought I was like the literal like I was going to get kicked out of school for like skipping like APUS history to go and like
I
sing
know.
in the
We were
auditorium.
terrible.
I seriously thought that I was gonna get like kicked out of school for like but breaking like asking our music teacher Norm Zogabe, asking him for the keys to the auditorium, and then being
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go sing in there, and then him being like, okay, and me being like, oh my god, he's gonna find out that I'm skipping, you know, I'm skipping history, and oh my god, it's gonna be so terrible. But then I would like we would go and sing, and it would be like hilarious, and um,
Well, do you remember the one class? Like, we didn't realize the bell had rung, and we were like, oh no, our class with Mr. Cronin is happening right now.
yeah, oh my god, what? Yeah, so explain that story a little bit more.
So I just remember we were so fully invested in singing. It was probably defying gravity or who knows.
Mm-hmm.
What is this feeling? Who knows? Um, but yeah, I just remember us maybe pausing to like wonder what time it was, and we totally didn't realize that the bell had rung for the next period, and we were just like, oh my gosh, we're late for US history or whatever for Mr. Cronin's class, and we ran. And I remember just being so nervous, and the teacher was just like, okay, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, you.
Yeah, classic moves, honestly. Really embarrassing stuff when you think about it, but like I personally had a great time singing and doing those kinds of things because it was like it wasn't for anything. Like we didn't record it.
Yeah,
We never like performed it for anyone. Like it was literally just for
yeah,
us. Which is
I
honestly
love
really
that.
precious, like really sweet. And like when you think about it, I don't know about you, but I assume you also did. I listened to those songs like on repeat and like just nonstop
Oh, yeah,
listening and like absorbing them, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it was for no one except for me,
yeah.
you know?
Well, I remember at one point when we were singing, like, you weren't even in chorus at the time.
Yes, oh my god. Well, yeah, so that is a really funny story in itself because if you know anything about me, listeners, you know that I am currently a doctoral student in music, but I was not always um, interested in music. And by interested, I mean able to like sing in front of people. So in high school, and I also didn't sing in chorus in middle school, but in high school in ninth grade, I think, in women's choir or something, and I was really like nervous, and I just would like sweat all the time, like really bad sweating, like really bad. And I had so much anxiety about singing and um, about performing in front of people. And my older sister Jess, she actually not forced me, but kind of was like, you need to audition for auditioned choir, which was concert chorale. Was that what
Yes.
that was it called?
Mm-hmm.
Concert chorale, and I did, and it was literally the most nerve-wracking thing in my whole life. I kid you not. But it just goes to show, like, those kinds of moments are things that I don't even really pride myself on being able to do it myself, because other people really were the, catalysts to me being able to get over things. And yes, I was the one to do it, but like being able to sing with you and like singing socially with my friends as opposed to like, singing for an audition or singing for, a pressurized situation has really changed, it changed me as a kid.
Yeah, I just remember like you telling me you were so nervous, and then I heard you sing, and I was like, "What the heck? What is this girl talking about?"
That's so funny.
So good.
Yeah, it honestly all started when we were in elementary school. Elementary. I don't know how normal people say it.
Yeah, I
but
feel like Western New York, it's elementary.
Elementary, yes.
Yeah.
So
why do we suck?
I don't know. Anyway, besides my strange dialect of English, when we were at Charlotte Avenue, my mom was like, "Oh my God, they're doing a musical. You really need to audition." And I was like, "Okay." We were in like 4th grade or something, and I was super excited because, get this, the musical that we were doing, if you remember, was Lewis and Clark.
Never forget. Never forget. Oh my gosh. Well, you tell me your experience on
Oh,
that.
Lord. I can't wait to hear yours. But basically, my mom was like, "Okay, you have to audition." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And I was, I feel like before then I was kind of like okay with singing in front of people. Like I didn't really care that much. Like my great grandma would always ask me to sing um, songs for her, and she liked my voice and
Oh.
whatever. So I was very young and very naive. And my mom was like, "You have to audition." So I said, "Great." And I really wanted to be Sacagawea because if you remember,
Yeah.
if you remember what I looked like back then, it was I wore 2 long braids every single day to school.
Yep.
And it was like a trademark, let me tell you.
It was.
But so I really wanted to be Sacagawea for some strange reason. I really associated with her, and so the audition day comes. It's a nice day at Charlotte Avenue as a 4th grader, and I walk up, and my music teacher is there, Mrs. Klein.
Never forget.
Yes.
I hope she's well.
And yeah, so there's like a bunch of people in the auditorium, and we're all sitting there, and I was kind of confused because I was like, "Okay, what are we doing? Like, this is weird." And I was like, "Okay." And then people start going up on the stage, and they start singing, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But I don't know this. When am I gonna learn this song? And then it was my turn, and she was like, "Okay, Heidi, get up there." And I was like, "To do what?" And and I walk up on stage, and literally it was like a fever dream. I kid you not. I remember it so vividly. I had so much adrenaline just like surging through my poor little body. I was like standing there in I never forget it was, "I'll care for you. I will never leave you wanting." Like literally the most ridiculous, but like it was like a backing track, full out 90s elementary musical. And it was so insane. There were lights. There was a live microphone in front of me. I was looking around, like looking at all of my friends, like, what's going on? And then I could feel the tears, burning in my eyes, and I just ran off the stage, dude. Like, and that, yeah, and then I was a fish. And I got to hold a fish on the stage, and I got to move it around, and I got to be a fish and not Sacagawea. right? It was honestly really sad. Like,
I totally remember that audition, like it being in front of everyone, and I was like, "What?" Because
mm-hmm.
I was nervous. Like singing in front of people is a nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah.
I applaud the people who, like yourself, who continue to pursue a career in this and further your degrees in this, even though it's scary. It's just like it boggles my mind, like the people who don't get nervous whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, if I can just interject really quick, people I feel like don't get nervous. Like, don't not get nervous is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just, you just get more comfortable with the fact that you're, like, extremely uncomfortable and nervous. And some people honestly take beta blockers. Some people, like, really are okay with the fact that they're out there. But you're always battling that.
Yeah. Well, good. Like, seriously, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I just remembered, though, that audition, and I was like...
Yeah, lay it on us.
All these people are looking at me, and I'm little, and what are these feelings?
What can you remember from that audition, though?
So, I remember... You're gonna laugh. I think we've discussed this. I as well was like... For me, I was nervous to sing in front of people when I was younger. I was pretty shy. And it wasn't until I started doing theater stuff, until I sort of broke out of my shell and was like, okay, I'm a weird person, and here I am, world.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember going in there, and they said that we had to sing the song for Napoleon Bonaparte's part in the production. Where he had his own song, and it was like that big, like, it was like a big ordeal.
Yes.
And I remember I wanted Sacagawea.
Who got Sacagawea? Like, who actually beat us out? Like, this is really sad. Wait, what was that?
Maddie Lockwood.
Oh my god. Wow, bombshell.
I know, because I remember I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, even if I'm nervous, Sacagawea has one little singing line, and she's got some speaking, like, parts. Like, it's okay. So I remember going up there, super nervous. Just, oh my gosh.
Of course.
And I remember singing this Napoleon Bonaparte song, and the cast list goes up, and Homegirl got Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh my gosh, you did. That's right.
And it was, oh my gosh, terrifying. Even to the performance. It probably wasn't until the last one where I was like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
And then I remember Batorsky being really mad at me for the rest of the year because he wanted that role so bad.
You know, it's so funny thinking about young adaptations of musicals, because, like, what a fun, hilarious embarrassment to think about when you're an adult. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my gosh.
And so many of my friends and my colleagues now are music educators, and, you know, everyone who is in that field who is, like, trying their darndest to appease the youngins in their desire for putting on a musical, just, you are out there doing the Lord's work, because that is not easy to do. Like, it's a lot of pressure in a way, and of course parents are gonna, like, see their young children and be like, oh my god, anything they do is amazing, so it's cute, it's just like a little cute thing. But, like, some moms and some dads are, like, tiger parents, and, like, I think that's the antithesis of what my parents were and are, you know. That's why I didn't do well at the audition, because they were like, okay, yeah, you should audition, and then I was like, okay, yeah, and then my mom was like, great, bye, like, in the nicest way, you know. She was like, she wasn't gonna hover over me and teach me the song and make sure I could do it well, and, make sure I knew what was going to happen at the audition. Like, she had other things to do. So, so yeah, I was really relying on Mrs. Klein, and maybe I was just, like, dissociated during that time, but I don't remember her teaching us the music.
I mean, all of that training, I remember her music classes, we always opened with singing My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Ugh.
And she would ask, like, well, if anyone wants to...
Wait, if anybody wants to what?
Sing it solo.
Oh, God. Yeah, oof.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I was thinking, strangely enough, this morning in the shower, when you have, like, really weird thoughts in the shower, I had this really weird thought about field day. And how that is such a, like, fun, amazing thing that I don't know if it's called field day in other parts of the country or in other parts of the world. But for us, it was called field day. And basically it was just like a really, really highly anticipated day in elementary school where you would go outside and just play a bunch of field games. Like,
it was the best.
Yeah.
I remember, though, one year I split my shorts down the back. It was bad.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think at field day, one of the field days that happened, like, there were 5 of them, obviously, because you did all 5 years of elementary school. But, I remember one year I might have gotten an ambulance called for me.
Yes, I remember that. Like, so, now that you bring it up, I remember that so much. We're all just like, oh my God, what is this ambulance doing here?
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, it's Heidi.
Of course it is.
I remember I wasn't in your class, but, like, I knew you and I was friends with you, so I was like, Heidi.
Yeah. From what I remember, I kind of don't really remember a lot of it, but we were playing tug of war, and, if you don't know what tug of war is, you probably do, but you basically just pull rope on both sides, and there were teams, and I remember, like, wanting to be in the front of the line, for some reason, even though I was a very small child, like, and I remember pulling and pulling and pulling, and then all of a sudden, everybody else behind me let go, and I, like, got dragged a while, like, kind of, like, I feel like I was more afraid than anything, but, like, I kind of was, like, dragged all over my shoulder, and I was, holding on to the rope for some reason still. But then I find out that I'm in, whatever, in the ambulance, and they're all freaking out because they're like, maybe her arm's broken, I don't know, because I was, like, holding my arm and my shoulder. And then I find out that my 2 sisters, who were in school, the same school as me, obviously, at the time, they got, like, taken out, and they got McFlurries while I was getting an x-ray.
The worst.
And I'm like, what the heck?
That's terrible.
And I'm like, so
you were going
rude.
through the real hardship. Why did Erica and Jess get the
I know,
special
dude.
treatment?
I know. And maybe I don't remember that correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But yeah, wild times at CAS.
I remember that so much now. Wow, it's crazy how memories flood back just by the mention of one little thing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's like a weird thing. And actually, did you know that...
I just remember weird little things. Like, I remember, like, I remember one of your birthday parties, and you had a Kim Possible poster in your room.
Oh, of course I did.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
You're good. No, just I'm Kim Possible,
Oh. Yeah, I was literally... Kim Possible was my idol. If you do not know who Kim Possible is, you better look a girl up, because if you are listening to this podcast right now, you need to know my roots. And Kim Possible is... She's just an icon. You just need to look it up and educate yourself. So, I was gonna ask you, though, did you ever have Mrs. Van Brocklin?
No.
Well, yeah, so I think a couple weeks ago, my mom sent me a text that said that she had passed away, but in my brain, I was like, wait a second. When she was teaching us, she was my first grade teacher, and that was what, like
I don't even want to
17
know
years
how
ago.
many years.
Yeah, like 17 or 18 years ago, I'm, if I'm 25, and like she was very old when we were
Yeah.
in first grade. So I was like, wow, what a really like amazing woman. And honestly, you know
Yeah.
what it was also that blew my mind about her? Since Charlotte Avenue, our elementary school, was so incredibly small, we had what was called multi-age classes,
Yeah.
which were hilarious. And basically, it was that there was not enough kids in each grade, so they combined like first and
Yeah.
second grade classes.
Yeah.
So she taught, I was actually in first grade with my older sister Jess, and we had
Okay.
Mrs. Van Brocklin together. And it was
Interesting.
hilarious. Like, what a
Oh,
crazy
I'm so
thing.
sad to hear that she passed.
I know, yeah, but she was wonderful, and I remember her being very stern, but like she was kind of like a very stern German grandmother that you have, and you just, she's going to
Yep.
say certain things, but she was a very sweet woman. And so many of the teachers there were, um, I remember, do you remember Mrs. McWaters?
Yeah.
That was our kindergarten teacher, right?
Yeah. Or wait, no. So I went to Union Pleasant for kindergarten through second.
Oh my God, you're right. You're so right.
Yes. And then I came to Charlotte.
Ugh, we love it. We love a transfer.
I've been moving all my life, baby.
Yeah, that's right. You're a pro.
Ugh.
Oh, she was honestly though my kindergarten teacher. I remember her very vividly in a way that, um, I think when we were in high school and it was senior year and you had moved already, but we did Phantom and
Yeah.
LOL at Phantom, but like we had a great time and whatever. And I remember so unexpectedly I came out one of the nights to like say hi to people and whatever. And who's standing there but my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. McWaters? And she like
Ugh.
runs up to me and she's so excited. And at first I literally was like, I couldn't even recognize her, but she literally knew me like, she treated me like she had known me my entire life. And it was so sweet. And like, if you're a music educator or just an educator in general and you are listening to this podcast, you like make such a profound impact on people's lives. And knowing that my kindergarten teacher, like, I'm like getting teary-eyed, like literally knowing
Yeah.
that she like, some 16 years later came and was so excited for me, one of her kindergarten students in her senior year of high school, coming to the musical. And like that is just such a precious moment.
It is. It really is. And that's just like one of the wonderful things about like people get on Hamburg, yeah, like, but it was one of the great things about growing up in such a small, like, close-knit area.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, because, I don't know, at least coming down here, I got sort of a culture shock where there were thousands of kids in my high school compared to Hamburg, where there were not thousands of kids.
Right.
So coming down here, I really have a newfound appreciation for that small, close-knit community we had.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of growing up with everyone. I mean, since middle school, we were with our entire class, graduating class.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, it had its perks and it had its not
For
so
sure.
good.
Yeah. But what was it like for you to move? Like, what was it like for you to move and to have to like deal with that as a like high schooler? Like, you moved in freshman year of high school, right?
So actually,
Sophomore?
it was after sophomore year, so it was halfway through high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't want to say traumatizing because
I probably would.
yeah, it was very difficult.
Sure.
I will not lie to you. It was very difficult on me mentally.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, North Carolina is considered the South.
Right.
And things are a lot different down here. People are a lot different down here.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about Northerners where, like, we get each other. Like, down here, when you come in, like, contact with a Northerner, like, you just get each other, and conversation is so easy, and, but, like, I don't know, there's almost, like, a disconnect between, like, people who are originally from here. It's not that people aren't nice and easy to talk to. I don't know how to really put it into words. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, honestly, I think I can relate in a weird way. I did this summer program a couple summers ago now in Virginia, and it was really interesting. And I know Virginia isn't terribly far from New York, but when I tell you, it was like I was weirdly feeling like I was back in time. It was a very, like, small neighborhood, but it was also, you know, kind of like, I akined it to, like, the Wild West. And, like, I'm not joking. To me, it felt like time moved slower.
Yeah.
Like, from coming from Long Island and New York City and even Buffalo, like, the way people drove was slow. People talked slower. Everybody spoke in this very, like, not rushed kind. Like, their speech pattern. Like, if I'm speaking to you like this, they would be like, "I'm speaking to you like this," and I'm like, "Why are you talking like that?" Like,
no, it's so true. It's so true. And the only thing, what was really cool about moving down here in my newer high school, like, part of the curriculum, like, classes, you could take, like, theater classes and dance classes. Like, there was a dance studio in our school, and of course, like, chorus and band, but they were nothing like the music departments at Hamburg. Like, that's another, like, blessing, was that music department, seriously. But that was probably, like, the one thing that got me through was, like, theater and chorus.
yeah.
It was very difficult moving down halfway through high school. It really was.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna take a turn to left field here, but I remember, because we're talking about moving and going places far away and all of that, you mentioned that you were, because you've traveled quite a bit. You've been to Europe and things like that, correct?
No, I have not.
Oh my God, why did I remember you said something about Ireland?
Oh, I haven't announced it on my socials.
Oh, did you mention something specific? I thought you had gone there. Okay, well, we can go away from that. I thought you had traveled to Ireland or to the UK or something.
No, you are correct in the Ireland regard, but I haven't announced it because of COVID, and I don't know if it's still happening.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's
well,
not something I'm disclosing yet.
Well, if you're listening in and you want to find out what it is, when she announces it, hit her up and you can be like, "Oh my God," you can hear this bomb drop, this announcement.
You already know what it is, and you're gonna hear it. You're gonna be like, "Oh wait, yeah."
I know. When we stop recording, I'm gonna have to have you remind me because I'm literally so confused now. But the reason why I say that also is because, you know, things in Europe are musically very different, and, like, being someone who is, like, in the, you know, I'm not I don't. It's that imposter syndrome, but I don't necessarily classify myself as a professional musician yet. I'm still a student. So, but, like, in the professional world, there's a lot of work in Europe, and there's just so much of a different culture about music.
Yeah. An appreciation, you know?
Yeah, they put more money into it, they fund it better, it's more regarded as a job, like, you know, and the education is better, especially in, like, you know, Italy and England, like, where it's so embedded in the culture, you know, and everywhere, literally, like France and like everywhere else in Europe. But it is so interesting to really accept the fact that you grew up in a specific culture and a specific area, and, like, the world is just so much bigger than your elementary school, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah. Life spans far beyond Charlotte Avenue.
I know. And honestly, I think that that's a huge thing. Like, so many people, and listen, I am not knocking anybody who doesn't move from their hometown, but like, so many people from Hamburg are still living in Hamburg, and they want to live in Hamburg, they want to stay there, and like, dude, more power to you. But I think
Yeah.
it is really eye-opening, and it's just another unique life experience when you are able to move away and, by your own means or through other circumstances, and you're able to just see something else. It puts things in just a different light. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So very, very unique perspective. I didn't honestly expect us to talk about so much of our elementary experience.
Lewis and Clark, the musical.
Oh my God. If you are listening right now and you have any idea what the heck we're talking about, please let me know so that we can start like a support group or something. Because
Please.
like support for those affected by Lewis and Clark the musical.
Yeah,
Like
that could not be done now. You know that, right?
No, oh my God, no way. That was such a weird thing. And actually, didn't we do another one which was honestly precious? It was called Child of the World.
Yes.
And
that was the 4th grade one. That
yes.
was the 4th grade run. 5th grade was Lewis and Clark.
Okay, yes. So like Child of the World was precious. It was actually a sign language musical.
Yeah.
And like that was really cute. And I remember learning some things like in sign language from that musical, and like, hey, music ed friends, like if you are looking for a musical, maybe you should resurrect Child of the World, because
bring it back.
Yeah, dude, there were some bops, and it was honestly really cute, like and very PC. So you won't get any angry parents with this one. So
yeah, Lewis and Clark definitely could not be put on.
Yeah, no.
Nowadays. Even though we did some, like, gender swapping in our version. Because I was Napoleon. I remember, was Lewis Clark, were they 2 girls?
I think so, because they're just better singers. Like, boys just can't get it together, you know?
We carried that show, okay?
Yeah, of course,
we carried it on our backs.
Yeah, man. Oh, my God. So funny.
It is. I am just so in awe, like, still of all that you are doing with your life.
Oh my God,
like,
stop.
No, like, seriously, because, like, I just remember so much just the days where we would sing, and I just remember there were times where you were like, I'm nervous, and I'm like, what is she talking about? And I'm like, she's so good. And then I remember being down here and seeing that you got Christine and Phantom and being so proud, and then you going to school for this, and now you're getting a doctorate. Like, what?
Well, honestly, thank you. I appreciate all of those very kind things. But when people say those things to me, I look at them and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not really a singer. Like, I'm not really a musician. Like, it's a very strange dichotomy to have. Like, it's so weird, dude. Imposter syndrome is like a real thing, and like so many people, like I am obviously trying in my whole life right now to become a singer and to do the things that I need to do to get there, but for some reason I can't like acknowledge it right now that I actually am one, like, and I feel like I have to qualify everything that I say, and like, but it's just such a weird thing.
Yeah.
But for real, when you were saying those things, I remembered that you also, like, sing and, like, post some stuff occasionally, and, like,
LOL.
Like, but for real, like, you can play the piano, and you can play the guitar, and, like, all of those cute little fun things. And, like, that's nothing to scoff at, dude. Like, that's a real thing, and you should be happy with the amount of progress you've made, and, like, the amount of, like, soul and effort you put into your little, like, videos and stuff. Like, I literally, like, sometimes I feel like I get energy from, like, watching other people sing genuinely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel that. Well, did you know I went to school for 2 years for music education?
I did know that. I did.
Yeah. So I know your world a little bit.
Yes.
I found that, at least for me personally, like, learning the ins and outs, like the in-depth stuff of music, like the theory, the history, and stuff I wasn't grasping easily. Like, it was stuff that I found really difficult. Way that love of music for me.
Yeah.
So I really had to take some time aside and be like, okay, do I really want to do this? Like, so yeah, I took some time off of school, and then I went back to major in early childhood education. So it's still education. I really just have a passion for molding minds.
Yes, we love it. We love education.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's a huge thing that you mentioned that a lot of my peers and myself included suffer from is like when when you really dissect music and when you look at it with a critical eye, there's a lot of magic that seems on the surface to get lost. And some people compare like music as like a relationship that you have, like my relationship with music, and like, some people are like we're in a, love-hate relationship, blah blah blah. I'm like, but it's not, to me, I feel like it shouldn't be that music is this other that you have to get along with or learn how to love. It's like it's a reflection of yourself. And like when you think about music, for me, I find it's most beneficial to think about music as like undoubtedly this part of me that will never not be there. So it's just a matter of like giving it enough attention and the right kinds of attention. And like, it's just it is a weird relationship, but it's not like a relationship that you have with like a boyfriend or a husband or something, So
it's like an limb, like it's telling you.
Yes, it is like an extra limb for sure. It's very strange, but it's
wow, we got really deep and poetic.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, those are the kind of moments that I live for, though. I remember so many like sleepovers and things that I would have with like friends, and you were there, and we would all just like stay up really late and like talk about things, and like, we were very young, but I feel like, all of my friends, like Autumn and Rachel and like everyone who I was very good friends with in high school, like, there's just a certain wavelength that you have to be on to be friends with people, and you have to be similar in a way. So it's like, I like to get deep about things. I like to have really, intricate conversations and question things.
I mean, one was when we arranged to have that FaceTime in like years. Like, it had been so long since I'd talked to you, but it felt like picking up from like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
like for the day before since talking to you.
Right, exactly. So like for anybody listening right now, Kate and I had not like, not intentionally, but just like life happens and whatever, but like we hadn't spoken on the phone or anything like that in like many years. And then like a couple weeks ago, we had a FaceTime call, and it was like immediately like you were just saying, like so quick to get back to like, whatever we were doing in high school, it was just, so if you have someone, my dear listeners, all 10 of you, if you have someone who you either miss or you haven't spoken to them in a while, and there's no particular reason why, you just, life is happening and whatever, do make that call. Like, do reach out to them and like just be like, yo, what's up? Like, not trying to be like, I'm just checking in, like just be like, yo, like, we haven't talked in a long time, like, what's going on in your life? And those kinds of conversations are always really interesting and fulfilling in a unique way. So yeah, do it.
And now we've been in touch more because of the logo.
Yes, oh my god. Yeah, so Kate, if you didn't put these two things together yet, but if you have seen my logo that is on the top of my YouTube channel banner, and also in a little circle on the title screen that you're looking at right now, if you're watching on YouTube, Kate designed that logo, and she's designed for many other people doing logos and stuff. So, Kate, you're going to have to go ahead and plug yourself right now for your graphic design work. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Go.
Well, if you want to contact me, my social medias, you can follow me at I suddenly forgot my name.
Classic.
At _Ashbrook, or just, I don't know. I hate plugging myself, Heidi.
I'll tag you, don't worry. It's Kate _Ashbrook on all of the things, and you have a pretty unique name. Your name is not like Catherine or like Caitlin. It's just Kate.
Oh, no, it's Catherine.
What? Scandal! Yeah. I remember you saying to me one time, like so long ago, I remember you saying to me, being like, oh yeah, like my name is just Kate. Like it's not like anything longer. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. What? And I guess I just never.
Maybe I was in literally, Heidi, when like we were in high school and I was in like really my emotionally like charged and rebellious like hormonal stage.
Yes, we love it. Yes, been there.
I was like, I am going to legally change my name to Kate because I can't stand this any longer. Catherine just doesn't reflect who I am.
Relatable. Honestly, I live for that though.
My full name, it's very British sounding, which I like. If we want to get into genealogy, like I am mostly British and German.
Love that.
But it's Catherine Marie Ashbrook.
Yes. Oh my God. Honestly, I must have caught you at the wrong time because I think I remember it being like that. Like, but honestly, I love that because I think at one point I tried to convince my friends in like elementary school or something that my name was Adelaide or like Adelheid or something like the German, like, cause my name, Heidi, is a nickname for Adelaide. So
yeah.
I think at one point I did try and convince people that my name was Adelaide.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
If you haven't done that in your life, like if you're listening to this and you haven't like tried to convince someone that you are cousins with someone, or like you haven't tried to convince someone that your name was actually something else, or that you did something, you haven't tried to like literally full on convince someone of something else, you are lying. Like
I still to this day get like fueled with anger when people call me either Katie. That is like my number one cringe. I can't. Or when people call me Catherine, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I do like how it's spelled. Mine is the Kathryn, so it's very British.
Yes. I have a couple friends named Catherine. One of them is spelled your way, and then one of them is Cathrine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they both go by Cat, which is really funny.
I like that. It's too late for me now.
It's funny though, because one of them goes by Cat with a C and one of them is Cat with a K. So that's how we determine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's my time has passed though to try to convince people to come up with something else.
You could always change it up. I am a firm believer that as soon as you want to change your identity, like you can just go ahead and do it. I was thinking about the other day how I was like, what if I just dyed my hair a crazy color? What do you think people would say? Like, what would I say to myself? Like, what would happen?
I'd be for it.
You know what I mean? Like, what would happen?
At this point, I'm about to change my name and dye my hair and move to another country. Because just at where we are,
Yeah, let's just all embrace that and be ready to just completely change our identities and, change our lives, and it'll be great. Oh,
like
Lord.
Pull a Gone Girl. Like,
yes. Oh, God. We can do it, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. We are going on 50 minutes right now, so we're gonna wrap things up here. But I am so very much grateful that my dear friend Kate has been able. Kate, not Catherine, not Katie. Get it straight.
Yeah. Get it right.
So I'm very, very grateful that Kate has been able to come and be a wonderful guest on the podcast. If you, perhaps, listener, might also want to be a guest on the podcast, do let me know. I always say this at the end, and I feel like people don't hear it, but like for realsies, if you are hearing this, let me know if you want to come have a chat on the podcast. We can obviously.
My mom was like, "Can I come on the podcast?"
Oh my God, yes, Mrs. Ashbrook.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, I love that.
She was like, "If she wants another guest, I'm available."
Oh my God, yes, I love that. I will literally talk to everyone and anyone, like 100%. Tell her she can totes be a guest on the pod. And if anybody else wants to be a guest on the pod, you can also let me know. I'm very open to people because I do whatever I want up in here, okay? And like that's just that, okay? So nobody up here telling me what to do with my podcast, okay? So if you did like this video and you liked the podcast and you continue to support it and you want to let me know something about it, do that by giving this video a like and sharing it on social media or telling somebody about it. I really appreciate it. It would be awesome to have more people in our little tiny community here. I have a great time making these every day, and I look forward to just chatting. You know me, I love a good chat. So, Kate, thank you so much again for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, yes, you're a pleasure to speak with, and I hope that you will return again at some point on the pod. You'll be an honorary host.
Yes, that's the dream, man.
Oh my God, we're living it. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. This has been the Paper Soprano Podcast. I am Heidi Schneider, and you are wonderful people. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening, and bye.